Hello my lovely sewing friends, it's Catherine. I'm back again. Unexpectedly, I filmed a whole video the other day ready for the SewUpcycle 22, which is being run by Becky from Notes in the Sewing Room, and oh my goodness, I can't think of her name, but she is So Little Time. It'll come back to me. Oh gosh, I feel awful. But anyway, I did it, put it on the computer, uploaded it with the date and the time I wanted it to go on, and I've now discovered it was corrupted and that didn't upload, and so you didn't see my contribution. So I'm really sorry. I'm doing it again. So welcome all of you. This is my YouTube channel, Serenity Sews, and I'm Catherine, and I am here today to go through a few ideas of what you can do in the SewUpcycle 22 challenge. So what Becky and oh God, I wish I could think of her name, So Little Time, has done is suggest that we use different forms of fabric really, and not to necessarily always buy new fabric to make projects. And I want to show you today what I have done, and that might give you a few ideas to do your own project and to enter yourself into the competition, which is being run on Instagram. And I think we've got the whole of October until the draws are made. And so you do need to use the hashtag, which I'll put on the information down below. So what I'm going to do first of all is show you a few things that I've made using less than conventional, let's say, fabrics. So the first one I want to show you is an oldie, and this is probably about 5-6 years old now. It's a kind of very non-committal kind of top, but actually when you get close to it, look at that, isn't that beautiful? And so just tell you a little bit about this. I saw this as a tablecloth in a linen shop, you know, ones that sell bedding, towels, laundry, things like that. And I just thought, oh gosh, that's really gorgeous. And it's a cotton voile, so it's a natural fibre, and it was just so pretty, I thought, in the way that the pattern was constructed. So this is a new look top. I've made several of these in the past and it's not available anymore, but just to show you really what you can do. So if you can see at the back, it has this open and wrap. It doesn't wrap over, but it falls over the top. It comes to about my hip length. And what I did, I decided to make the front almost one. So I underlaid it with some cotton lawn, just very lightweight, didn't go to town. And I know that this will have been from some sheets that I'd perhaps decided weren't usable anymore. I always buy very good quality laundry for my bedding, because I like cotton and because I like the way it washes and I like the way it wears. However, sometimes the sheets probably wear a little bit quicker than perhaps the duvet. And what I do is I keep them and I use them for making toiles, or for doing things like this, for using as linings, because they're not necessarily on show. The back I had to do just a panel so it didn't show off everything at the back. But this top I love it. I always get it out every summer, and without a doubt, people always say to me, oh, I really like that top. Where did you get it from? Of course, we all get that, don't we? So that's one of my successful, I suppose, upcycles that I've done over the years. Not so long ago as well, I took my grandson into Primark. For those of you that don't live in the UK, it's a very large, very cheap, mass production kind of clothes store. And I don't normally buy from there because I don't particularly like the whole mass production thing. I like to make my own clothes and to know where I've got the fabrics from. However, on that particular day there was a sale, and the men's department was right next to the ladies' lingerie, and I happened to see a dressing gown, and I think it was a size 8 to 10, so nowhere near the size that I would want, but it was made of this beautiful cotton dobby lawn with this bit of fancy trim. So it was in the sale and it was £3. So I decided, yeah, I'm going to have that. And I unpicked it and I made this top. I've not worn it yet because it will be for next summer, but a very plain, simple woven tee with a nice facing at the front and a kind of feature line that I've top stitched down there. It has bust darts. To be honest, I can't remember which pattern it is. I know you can either make a woven or a knit in this particular pattern, but I wouldn't make this size in a knit. I'd have to size down quite a few sizes. But I'm really pleased with that. It's just perfect, and I've got that little bit of trim left over that I'll know I'll use on something over the coming days, months and even years. So those are two things. Also, when I was doing my shopping in Sainsbury's, I happened to do the same thing and pick up another, I think this was a dressing gown as well. Yes, it was. And this is 100% cotton. See on the label? Yes, it is. And this is a cotton dobby, but this has got a little print on it. Now, I've got a nephew who's got a little daughter who's about 4 years old, and I know, because her birthday's in June, I know I'm going to make her a little dress out of this fabric. So I've unpicked it ready, taken off, again this had got a little bit of embroidery anglaise on the trim, and so that's ready to go to make Evelyn a party dress. Right, now then, another upcycle thing that I decided to do way before this challenge came on board was I bought this fabric from Guthrie and Garney about 3 years ago, and I made the Sew Over It Ultimate Shift Dress. Now don't get me wrong, I loved the dress and I loved it when it was made up. However, you probably know I've said before, I don't work clinically anymore and I'm not needing to wear dresses like I used to. So I couldn't bear the thought of this fabric not being used and not being worn. So I decided to take it to pieces, and I'm now going to make the Harmony top by Stylark with just one ruffle, not two. The fabric is a double gauze and it was expensive because Guthrie and Garney sell quality fabrics, and it has this beautiful, it's almost like painterly effect, and it looks like the gold is painted on it. But I know that I'll wear that top loads, and it'll not just be hanging up in my wardrobe, because I didn't want to really give it away. So I'm thrilled about that, and the reason I haven't made it up yet is because I wanted to show you guys before I did. So that's another plan to do. Now, another thing that I've gotten into lately, and I've found the perfect brief, pants, knickers, call them what you like, for me. Now, I like, because of this bit of tummy here, I like a deeper pant, and I like having a firm bit across the front, and I found a pattern which I believe is by Evie Lalouve, and there is a panel across the front that you make in either the power mesh or in a woven kind of fabric. So I'm just in the process of sorting all that out. But one thing I want to show you, and this is something I've done for a while in making my own underwear, is my husband likes to wear white t-shirts a lot, and he wears them until the necks get a little bit grubby or worn, or I decide that I'm not putting them in the wash anymore. But what I do is, apart from cutting them up for dusters, I save them to put as little gusset liners. So what I'll do is cut about 10, 20 of these ready to go, and then I've got lots of partially cut knickers ready to construct. So that's just really a very simple way, but to me it's recycling, reusing, and he thinks it's quite funny using his t-shirt as a gusset. But there we go. Now I'm going to show you a couple of little things that might be useful to you, because again, when you make children's clothes, you generally have bits of fabric left over. Well, I certainly do when I make baby things, and I make my niece and nephews, no, my nephew's little children. I call them my niece and nephew, but actually I'm their great aunt. So over the years I've made them bits and bobs, but I've had little bits of those fabrics left. Now, a neighbour of mine's not long had a baby, so I knitted her a shawl, but I've also just made, out of, wasn't even 1/8 of a metre, this little hat and these little baby boots. They're honestly so easy to make, and again, this is something you could do with an old t-shirt. I just think they're nice little gifts, put in a box, wrap them up, and who wouldn't want to receive a little prezi like that. The last thing I want to show you is compromise, and how you might have not quite enough fabric, but how do you make a finished garment out of it? Well, I was faced with that this week. I wanted, again, for I'm making these things ready for Christmas, you see, because I always make the little ones a few tops or a pair of pyjamas, sweatshirt or something. The little boy, George, I decided to make him a couple of little tops, but I didn't have quite enough of this fabric. I bought it last year to make him some pyjamas, so he's going to think he's got pyjamas again. But anyway, I had to cut the back in 2 separate pieces, and the same with one of the sleeve. I couldn't get the sleeve out unless I had a cut down the centre. So what I did, I bought recently some of this stretch binding, quite inexpensive. I think I've got this from Poundland, or Pound Fabrics rather, not Poundland. And so I decided to make a feature of it, and I reckon it really sells this little top. And as you can see, it's made a very unique but very wearable little boy's top. So I'm thrilled to bits with that, and I know that he'll enjoy wearing it. He's really into dinosaurs, I think. They live on a farm because their dad he's a herdsman, but he also now makes cheese. So he'll have plenty of tops that he can wear and get dirty whilst he's out there playing with the farm animals. So those are my few ideas for you. I hope there's something there that will stimulate your thoughts and your making. And yeah, please try and support. It's Karen of So Little Time. Oh my goodness. Please try and support Karen and Nicky, and enter your garments with the hashtag SewUpcycle22. And who knows, there are so many prizes to be won, and you may well be one of those lucky winners and be able to treat yourself. And you know how we love doing that, don't you? So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to try and get this uploaded again. I'm not sure what went wrong last time, but hey, these things happen. And I shall see you at the weekend. Actually, I've now got a pile of fabric. It's not been washed yet, because if I'd have washed it, I know I would have started making things with it, and I don't want to. So it's all ready, and I want to show you what I've got and what I'm thinking of doing with it. So stay well, keep sewing, my lovely friends, and I'll see you soon. Bye.